I will show you how to start video editing with DaVinci Resolve 18. In this beginner-level tutorial, I will focus on how to work with video clips. So you have some video clips, and you will learn how to make one video file from those clips. You will learn how to keep only the parts you want and how to rearrange their positions. After opening Resolve, you will see this window. DaVinci Resolve is quite a powerful software that lets you collaborate with others. You can collaborate in your local network or online through DaVinci's cloud platform. Initially, you will work mainly with the files you have on your computer. So I will focus only on the local tab that works with the files on your computer. Your first task will be to create a new project where you will do your editing. Create a new project and give it a name. I will name it Demo Project. Press Enter or click on Create to create the project. DaVinci Resolve's interface is quite complex and looks intimidating at first. You should not worry about the interface and learn one thing at a time. After using it for some time and learning some of the basics, you will become comfortable using it. If you have messed up the interface, you can reset it from Workspace and reset UI layout. Before you start doing any editing in DaVinci Resolve, you should set the project settings. Click on the settings on the bottom right to open the project settings window. There are a couple of settings you have to set. Set the timeline resolution to your intended purpose. For example, choose a square format to edit a video for Instagram Reels. If you have video clips in 4K and want to produce a 4K video, choose Ultra HD resolution. For general HD resolution, 1920 by 1080 is a good choice, and I will use that. Then choose a timeline frame rate. If you already know the frame rate of your video clips, you can put a matching frame rate here. It is not necessary to perfectly match your clip rate to DaVinci's frame rate, because you can convert it later to match frame rate. The timeline frame rate and playback frame rate should be the same. Click Save when you are okay with the settings. You can see some tabs at the bottom. These tabs are called Page in DaVinci Resolve. I am currently on the Cut page. We do most of the editing on the Edit page. Before editing, we have to take or import the clips in DaVinci Resolve. It has a media pool where we can drag the video clips. This media pool can be seen on other pages in DaVinci. It is also on the media page, which is the dedicated place to import and organize media files. The edit page also has the media pool area. It is very small and narrow in the default layout, but it is there. You can drag your video clips or other media files into any of the media pools. I will do it from the media page. You can browse your computer file from here and drag any file into the media pool. If you do not find it convenient to browse the folder from here, you have another option. I will show that a bit later. I have some video clips and images here. As I dragged a video file, I can see a warning message about the frame rate not matching. I can either convert the clip's frame rate to match DaVinci's frame rate or keep it as it is. I will change the frame rate to match DaVinci's frame rate. I can drag images and audio files besides video clips. Instead of browsing from DaVinci, we can browse using the folder structure of your OS. I have some stock videos here, which I will select and drag. This process is called import, and to edit any file in a video editor, you have to import it first. I have imported all the necessary files and will move to the next phase of video editing. The next step will be to take the video clips in the timeline. The timeline is the main place where video editing happens. There are two places in DaVinci to take video clips in the timeline. The first place is the Cut page, but I will not use the Cut page. Instead, I will use the Edit page, which is more convenient. You can see those clips as a narrow strip on the Edit page. You can show or hide the media pool using the Media Pool button at the top. You can get more space for the media pool by hiding the bin list. You can also extend the timeline, and feel free to play around. You can always reset the UI layout if you mess up the layout. On the top is the viewer area, and at the bottom is the timeline. The left viewer is the media viewer. If you mouse over the media files on the media pool, you will see that in the media viewer. You can see what a video has in a particular point and decide whether to include that portion in the final video. If you take your mouse outside any media file, you will see the media viewer becomes black. Double-click on that file if you want a video to stick into the media viewer. There is a particular reason to attach a video to the media viewer. I will discuss the reason shortly. Using the playing slider, you can go back and forth in the media viewer. It allows looking quickly at what is in the video. Using the play button, you can also play the video in the media viewer. DaVinci has a special trick to play forward or backward a video very fast. If you press L once, it will start playing at normal speed. If you press L again, it will become faster. Every subsequent press of L will play it faster. To stop, press K. To play in reverse, press J. Subsequent press of J will play it faster in reverse. There are many different ways to take a clip in the timeline. You can drag a video from the media viewer to the timeline. After taking it to the timeline, you can adjust the clip's position. There are 3 zoom buttons for the timeline to zoom in or out of the timeline. The red vertical line is the playhead, and you can scrub it to see the video in the timeline viewer. Whatever you put in the timeline is visible on the timeline viewer. If I delete this clip, the timeline viewer will become black. Sometimes you will not want to take the entire clip in the timeline, especially for longer video clips. DaVinci has a special mechanism through which you can take a specific part of the clip to the timeline. Select a point as a starting point in the media viewer. Then press I on the keyboard to mark in. You can also mark in using the buttons here. These are mark in and mark out buttons. Then select an ending point to mark out. Press O or click the mark out button. You can see some part in the media viewer progress bar is white. If you drag the clip to the timeline, only that part will be on the timeline, not the whole video. You can also drag the video in the timeline from the media pool. In that case, the whole video will be on the timeline. So far, all the videos I dragged to the timeline had no audio. A video with audio will show the audio icon in the media pool. For example, this video has audio in it. I will drag it to the timeline. As I drag it to the timeline, you can see 2 tracks have been created. A video track is denoted by V1, and A1 represents an audio track. If I drag the clip, both the audio and video parts will move at the same time. With a single clip, both the video and audio pieces will be selected. You can trim any clip from the edges. You can also expand back any trimmed clip. I will drag this clip to the beginning of the timeline. You can scrub the video in the timeline using the playhead. The timeline viewer will show the frame on the playhead position. You can zoom in and out the timeline in detail you need. The first zoom button fits the whole track in the visible timeline area. You can also zoom in and out the timeline using the slider. You can increase the height of the clips in the timeline. You can set your timeline viewing options from this icon. For example, if you want to see a single or no thumbnail in the video clips, you can set it that way. You can set how you want to see the audio waveform. If you have experience in audio editing, you can set the type of waveform you find convenient. You can increase the height of the video track and audio track using these sliders. I will now add some clips to the timeline to show how to work with multiple clips. I will mark in and out this clip using I and O. There is a better way to append it at the end of the timeline. Drag the media viewer to the timeline viewer. You will find several options on how you want to put the clip in the timeline. Choose Append at the end to place it at the end of timeline. Using the play button or spacebar, you can play what is in the timeline. The video will start playing from the playhead position. You can take out any wanted part from a clip in the timeline. Click on the blade icon to activate the blade selection. Click inside the timeline where you want to split. Now one clip is split into 2 clips. You can select any clip and delete it. After deleting a clip, a gap appears. You can select the gap and delete it. All the clips will be together after deletion. I will undo it before delete. You can delete a clip and close the gap simultaneously by pressing Shift-Delete. You can expand one clip over another from the clip edge. On the edge, a 2-sided trim icon appears, meaning one clip overlays over another. If you drag back, the bottom clip can be seen again. For faster split, you can use the keyboard shortcut Command B or Control B if you use Windows. You place the playhead in the position of split and press Command B. You can select a clip and Shift-Delete to remove the clip. If I play the video, you will notice a sudden jump from one clip to another. You can slowly fade out to the new clip using the white dot at the top of the clip. You see how the first clip fades out, and the new clip appears. You can adjust how fast or slow the fade will happen. I can add this fade out effect to other clips as well. You can rearrange the clips by taking a clip to the upper track. Then reposition the other clip. You can drag the clip to the new position. You can overlay one video with another by putting it in an upper track. I will select a part from this clip and will put it in the upper V2 track. When the playhead reaches the newly dragged clip, it will show the contents of that clip. Images also work the same way as video clips. If I drag an image on top of any clip, the image will be shown for that part of the video. You can trim an image the same way you do a video clip. Sometimes you may not need the audio that comes with a video clip. If you select and delete, both the audio and video get deleted. Those two are linked and work as one unit. Dragging and trimming work as you are working with a single clip. In such scenarios, you can press Alt and click to select only audio or video. You can also unlink the audio and video from the Unlink button. Once unlinked, you can select only audio or video with a single click. There is another feature in the timeline called playhead snapping. This magnet icon enables it. If you trim something close to the playhead, it will be snapped to the playhead. If you want to trim more finely, you can disable the snapping and trim to the point you wish to. I feel the first clip is quite long, so I will delete some parts of the clip. Command B to split and then select and delete. Let's assume you are done arranging all the clips you want in the timeline. You have to export it if you're going to make a single video file from all these clips. There are two ways to export: Quick Export and Export in Detail. For Quick Export, go to File, then Quick Export. You can choose how you want the export to happen. You can choose a codec like H.264, or you may prefer to export for YouTube. You can directly upload to YouTube after export. For that, you have to log in to your YouTube account. I will export for YouTube but will not upload directly from DaVinci. I will keep the local file on my computer. You have to give the exported file a name and choose a location to save. Depending on how long the video is and what quality the clips are, it will take some time to export. After exporting, you can see the video file. I can run it or share it. There is another dedicated place to export in DaVinci Resolve. It is the delivery page. The kind of export options you saw on the quick export page, those same options are here, but with details configuration. To export a file from here, you have to add that to a render queue. You will name the file and choose a location as before, but the export will not start immediately. It will be on a queue, and you can add more files to export on the queue. Click on the Render All to begin the export process. I have only covered how to work with video clips, especially joining, rearranging, and splitting them. It is the foundation of video editing. Once you master this, you are well placed to do fantastic video editing projects. I will publish some more videos on how to use DaVinci Resolve. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and see you next.